I have done it. I have purchased a van. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna actually get started today with my build, and we are gonna start by soundproofing, not really proofing, attempting to dampen sound. One of the things that happens that creates noise while driving is that these ribs are actually just glued onto the panels. That glue over time kind of starts to get loose. So I'm just gonna be going back over it and just filling in a little bit with a little bit more adhesive, just to hopefully prevent those from coming loose later. In order to do that, I need to make sure that the surfaces are really, really clean so that the adhesive holds. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the adhesive. I think this kind will actually bond metal to metal without being an epoxy. It's a polyurethane adhesive. I saw someone online using this. It seemed to work for them. Let's see if it'll work for me. Now, as you can see here, the adhesive that the manufacturers put in, it's only in like certain areas. You can kind of see it back there in the middle. So what I am gonna do now is go ahead and start putting the adhesive onto all of the areas between the ribs and the panels where there's some like open gaps. Hopefully the adhesive that's already there doesn't start to go bad and start to come apart so that my van stays rattle-free for as long as possible. So I had to laugh about this one. I get down to the bottom of the tube and I think, okay, well, I still have some left. I shouldn't like waste it. So I went over to all of these things here. You know, they're pretty secure in there already, but I thought I'll just add a little bit. Oh, the lights went off. Neat. All right, got the lights back on. Anyways, so yeah, I get over to this one. I noticed this one's not connected at all and needs to be like very securely fastened. And I got like this itty bitty little drop on there and the bottle ran out. That's just my luck. It's fine though. I don't have to do anything up here for a long time, so I'm not worried about it. I can go get more. The bottle's only like $8, but it was really funny and like exactly my luck. So my sound deadening stuff came in. I got the kill mat. A lot of this is just really simple. It's just gonna be a matter of like unpeeling it, sticking it on, and rolling it. So I'm not gonna show a whole bunch of this because I'm just gonna basically cover as much of the van as this box will let me do. Hopefully that will get me to about, I think they say like as long as you can cover at least like 30 to 40% of the van, of all the surfaces, that it should be good. So hopefully I can do that with just one box. All right. So what I'm gonna start with is the wheel wells. So I'm just gonna kind of stick that on there and then roll it tight with this. So I can see this is probably gonna take a little longer than I thought. And I'm very glad that I got this roller. I was gonna get like a little plastic one because I had to order this roller. And I'm really glad that I did not do that because I don't think a plastic roller would be strong enough for this, which is absolutely insane. I was gonna use some roof flashing that I've heard that some people use kind of as like a cheaper option, but this stuff uses like a butyl rubber adhesive, whatever, and the roof flashing is actually like asphalt. So I didn't think that would be a good idea later. So I decided to just not be cheap with this kind of thing and just go for it. So you can see on this kill mat here, it's got all these little rectangular ridges. As I roll this, you can see it starts to get really smooth. It's beautiful. Okay, so now that I have the wheel wells done, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the rest of this stuff up on the ceilings and walls. I'm gonna skip anywhere where I know there's going to be a window later. I may end up with some windows back here, but it already has these things on there, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But I'm basically gonna try to cover 30-ish% of everything else, which hopefully I can do with just that one box. This is literally much harder than I thought it was gonna be. You gotta put a lot of pressure to make these little rectangles go away. Now next up on my list, I'm gonna start actually putting some insulation into the walls. So I'm gonna be putting the insulation into all these little cubbies. I'm gonna try to get into all the little nooks and crannies, like into the sides here. This will just involve like taking pieces and stuffing it until I can't anymore. And then I have one other box. Hopefully that will be enough. I really don't want to buy a third box. This stuff is expensive. Oh man, I'm gonna need more than 2 boxes, aren't I? Meh, I don't want to use more than 2 boxes. It's expensive. I got an entire side done. I have 1 piece left out of that entire box. So out of the 2 boxes that I started with, I was able to get both walls done, the ceiling beams, and this back beam, with the exception of the entire middle part. Oh my gosh, this straight up smells like sheep. This does not cut very easily. Okay, this rips a lot easier than it cuts. It is so soft and cuddly. Oh my gosh. I never thought I would do this with insulation. Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full.